So how did we come up with the idea that something has to be changed? It is actually Port of Rotterdam that proposed one day to have a meeting, presentation in which they would explain to us the growth plans of the Port of Rotterdam. And that during that meeting we understood that with all this enormous growth, all this investment, there will be extra pressure on the infrastructure, which will put a lot of pressure on our service levels towards our customers. And it became really apparent that if nothing is done, we'll face serious problems in the future. So it was the moment we realized there was time for action.
We found a solution in rerouting our goods via Moerdijk and with a barge to Rotterdam.
If we look to the operational changes we had to make for this project in our Philips distribution center here in Roosendaal, we didn't have to make a lot of changes. Obviously, the loading of the container is the same as we used to do. We did have to make some changes to our booking process. In the past, we booked it to the Rotterdam terminal. In a new situation, we book it to the Moerdijk terminal. What we also had to do is make some changes in our track and trace system, and we had to update our SAP master data. That were the only two actions that we had to perform.
Normally we ship the containers for Philips Roosendaal from Rotterdam to Roosendaal. When Philips asked us if we want to join in the project by shipping containers via Moerdijk, we saw a few advantages. One of the advantages is that we think we can gain a higher productivity by doing 3 or 4 containers a day instead of only 2, which is now the case when we ship from Rotterdam.
Why is sustainability important? Well, for Philips, sustainability is on top of the agenda. It is our ambition to minimize the footprint we leave on our environment as much as possible. As a company, we have very challenging targets on minimizing the carbon footprint we leave. And we are very happy that with this project we are actually contributing to achieving these targets. This project in itself helps us to save 200 tons CO2 that is not being emitted by Philips, and that doesn't say a lot, the number, but it's actually equal to planting 5,000 trees, which is around 24 football pitches of forest that we would have to plant in order to have the same effect.
Volumes to and from the Maasvlakte will continue to grow massively, and it is essential we keep access to the terminals. The barge in this respect is therefore an essential element to make that happen. It's environmental friendly too, so for us this is an important future and a way forward.
In terms of changes for Maersk Line, having the information available up front, so before the containers arrive on the terminal, is very important. In that way we can do our planning for the outgoing sea vessel in an earlier stage. And also for customs purposes, it's easier for them to check containers, to check manifest, to check documentation. And having an AEO certification, both Maersk Line and APMT, that gives them the opportunity to do the checks up front. Handling containers by barge for us as a carrier is easier. Planning is much more efficient because we have thicker container flows coming in. A single barge can carry more containers, obviously, rather than a single container coming in by truck. It gives less congestion on the road and also at the gate of the terminals.
Sustainability is high on the Maersk Line agenda. Green is the new blue, and barge versus truck fits in very well with this policy and strategy.